Welcome to the show. I'm astrologer Val Evans. We have a lot in store for you. We're flipping cards and reviewing the charts and, of course, the omens and signs to predict what's ahead. If you're interested in learning about predictions in your job, you can pull a job chart based on your hiring date. And this book tells you all about it, how to do it, and what you can see from it. And make sure to check out The Big Earthquake Is LA Next. Wow, the Californians have already been feeling tremors, but we break down the chart and see what's coming next in that show. Today's show, we're going to start with Amber's tarot clues, omens and signs as usual, and the week ahead using the chart. We also have Prince William's week ahead, Prince Harry's week ahead, and Prince Harry's solar return predictions. Hello, Amber. Welcome. We've got a bunch of stuff ahead that we want to talk to you about. But first, we've got a question from Lucy. She says, can you look at the chart for the Chunnel? Is it safe this year? This is the transit chart for the Chunnel. It was in 1994 that Queen Elizabeth made a big to-do about the Chunnel starting operation. And so what I did was I just pulled a transit chart. And as of September, we've got Mars coming in with an opposition to Uranus and Neptune. And I saw some of the charts in the past, and whenever there was an opposition with this Uranus and Neptune from the natal chart, it was usually something that had to do with like a power outage. Here's one. This was a power failure, December 2025. That was Jupiter. Maybe means some power failure, but I wondered what you could pull for September for the Chunnel.
Ooh, let's see. I have just left England before the Chunnel was open. Certainly communications could be interrupted. This is definitely communication card. Technology with that Queen of Swords. And this is in the reverse where this is a spark, right? This is a spark and something could be ignited around communications.
Probably more in October, there might be something with the retrograde part of that month coming in. Even in that natal chart, you can see how Uranus is two cut and Neptune is Russia. So maybe that's why that there are those power failures. Do we have some type of maybe mysterious person, divers, submarines down there doing some damage and it's going to affect the Chunnel maybe in the fall?
Look at this, Ace of Wands. So it's a yes if it's a yes/no question, but I'm also feeling like they might have to expand something, but this is power, this is fire, this is again an ignition. When something's fully ignited, but if there's someone underwater, that's very possible with that Ace of Wands. But I also see maybe some kind of expansion on the technology.
We got a pull on World Cup today. Inga, so nice to see you. You know, I was hoping you would come on, Inga. And I was just looking at my purses that you sent me. I can't believe you did this, but she made these. She's an unbelievable artist. This is Inga. And this is
wow.
Can you believe this? Look at this. How fabulous.
It's beautiful.
She did it by hand.
Oh my God.
This beautiful, and I showed this a while back, but then this beautiful purse. This looks like something you could get from like Neiman Marcus. Isn't that beautiful? Can I ask you what you got for your spread for the week?
I did get some interesting initial cards, and the whole entire message, I'll just sum it up, but then I'll share the cards. The first two cards, King of Cups and the Magician, and asking what do we need to know about the King of Cups and the Magician was the Hanged Man, clarified by the Tower. So in summary, the first thing that comes to my mind is that something between the King and William, there's like a shocking revelation or something that is shockingly halted, paused, delayed, but it's definitely unexpected. There may be some unexpected, something with the King and William.
Weird that you got that because I usually pull cards on what we should talk about for the week. And I got 10 of Cups reversed, and then I got the Death card. So this is a transformation, but sometimes those can be pretty heavy cards. And kind of in line with what you're saying as well. All right. Now let's go to, this is an omen I've seen for years now, and they are what one would call prison tattoos. Those are just the little tiny, not always tiny, or you'll see the sleeve, but you see so much with tattoos. But the small ones, they call it the prison tattoos. And we were flipping cards on World Cup, and a card that came out during the show was prison. And we were thinking, well, maybe there's some kind of news that comes out during the World Cup. And sure enough, Mom Donnie watched the World Cup with Rikers Island inmates. So it was crazy that we got that card. So I was going to ask you, I think that's, yeah, as far as prison is concerned, are we seeing something in the news about maybe in the next 6 months, something about a big prison story?
It actually could be, as I say that, the devil card. This is it. But, when I compare it to the cards that came out before, it's almost like, is there a new prison that's being built, dug, or is there something potentially what's the word? Like archaeological, like excavated or excavated?
Yeah. Excavation,
digging. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Something like that. Mm-hmm.
Could it be, could prisoners be digging and is trying to escape?
I was thinking that. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. This is a yes. And it's also that little spy of the deck. This is someone who can be a little bit sneaky behind the scenes. The Page of Swords.
Definitely. Lucy, you're going to love, we did the Chunnel chart. So just, that was just a few minutes ago, but glad you could join us. And looks like there's some interruptions ahead there. As far as, can I just ask one more follow-up with the Chunnel? Any terrorism type of themes coming up in the near future for the Chunnel?
This Two of Swords, it's a toss-up. Let's get a clarifier. It's the expansion card again. So honestly, it's such a positive card. I would say no, but I will share, I just happenstance this week watched a documentary about the 2005 London Underground attacks. And it's an interesting omen in my mind that we're talking about this. I didn't anticipate this question about a tunnel. And I just spent some of my week watching about the underground around the tube.
And it's so interesting that you were talking about 2005, because I was looking at the 2005 Chunnel, because there was an opposition with Uranus and Neptune for the Chunnel chart in 2005, and there were credible threats that year. So they were looking there too, probably. Woo, I'm getting the chills. So yeah, that's I think maybe a sign there. Yeah.
It could be.
Yeah. So you have to stay vigilant. Generally, we've got Saturn stationing soon and about to go retrograde this month. Generally, it shows when a foundation is rocked or disturbed or something. Can you give us a card on anything we can expect the end of this month as Saturn moves retrograde? Maybe a card can tell us what we can expect. Oh,
I mean, this is the sadness card. It's definitely people feeling sad, right? Or betrayed. I mean, the image on this card is just so devastating. The person in that card is crying out. It's pain. It's pain.
It's pain. And usually with you getting swords, I don't know what that could be, but it's
clarify. The King of Swords clarifies it.
Okay.
So a lot. I mean, this is maybe a world leader who causes some. I mean, it's kind of like free speech could be
Okay.
a thing because the King of Swords is someone who's a communicator. Things are
Usually
in free
with
speech, maybe.
what they say about the Saturn's retrograde is that if you already have a shaky foundation, then it's probably going to be destroyed or have some problems. And so, so you have to build back up again. You're reviewing that foundation. I know Lucy Lulu, the retrogrades are wearing me out as well. Everybody feels just maybe a little different during this time period. And the main part of retrograde, we're about to come out of. So that's a really good piece of news. Retrogrades are really good to go through your bills, check out who's charging what, see if you can call your credit cards and see if they can bring down some of the fees. You'd be really surprised how they work with you. Anybody who's really charging you anything, and unspoken heart stillness retros can bring to the surface. Try cleaning and meeting with friends to get unstuck. As long as you're not meeting friends who you've got to drive a long distance, because then the weather gets you there. But let's see. Get over to the next one. Now we've got this explosive thing, and not to talk about things that are coming up that could potentially be harmful, but we've got a world leader here, and we're talking about explosions right now in Iran. There's a lot going on, a lot of bombs being dropped. And I wondered if this is an omen for something, maybe in the near term, say by the end of the summer. What do you think? Is this an omen? Explosive.
It is definitely, oh my gosh. 8 of Wands. Look, that almost looks like fireworks, right?
It
almost
does.
looks like fireworks or some kind of explosion in communication, or travel potentially too.
Okay. Interesting that you say that, because I think of at least on this side of the pond, the midterm elections, and how one way to get people from voting is to scare them. Say, maybe there will be some type of tricks like explosives or threats or something like that. So that could come up, but that's not really in the near term yet. We're looking at a lot of heat right now, the fires in Canada, just everything is so extreme, but it's going to calm down. I really believe that. I do think that we're going to see something, though, with especially that couple that was getting married at the top of, what was it, the Skywalkers, and they called them Skywalker, which is so Aquarius, which is so Star Wars. It was so crazy to see that. And then also, I can't forget Diana Ross singing Upside Down on New Year's Eve, where things are going to be a little bit flipped there. Okay, so we're going to do an Ask Amber. Anybody who has a question, we're just going to spend a couple of minutes. If you're interested in figuring out what to do, I guess I should ask a question. How about, let's see, it's July 17th, and you told me that, which I think is true, and it's just starting to happen, but in Mercury retrograde, you don't really focus on these things. You said that maybe a new thing was coming in, as far as like a project or something that I'd be working on, I think.
Right.
Could you give me more details on that?
Okay, let's see. Interesting. Oh, well, you might have this is a guru. This is someone who is the wise leader, spiritual leader, which, I mean, let's be clear, you already are, but there's work to be done, and it might have to ramp up. You might have to speed up the process, maybe after retrograde, or things will start to speed up after retrograde. This is definitely too about racing thoughts, like
racing thoughts,
lots of ideas, like a bucket of ideas. Yeah,
that's so interesting.
Around a spiritual endeavor.
I like speed, so that could be a good thing. Sometimes, thank you, Inga. Hey, Cindy. And yes, thanks, Cindy. All right, so we'll wait to get some questions, and I'm going to move on.
I want to share one thing.
Yeah.
And I would love for you to tell me, and I have my own opinions about this. I had a little gift talk. Speaking of gifts, I had a gift arrive this week. Very surprising. And I'd love to get your take on where you see this being in a chart. Okay. So, and it's fun because I think the chat might enjoy utilizing this at some point. I received this beautiful handwritten letter from a dear friend of mine who lives miles away from me, very far. And they used the Pony Express to send this to me. So an actual horseback rider traveled coast to coast with my letter, and they stop. It's volunteers with their own horses, and they have marked posts along the route. And I was able to follow my horse with my letter as it traveled across country.
Okay.
And she dated the letter May 15th, and I received it on July 15th. So 2 months for this to get to me.
How much fun would that cost?
You know, I didn't ask her.
That's amazing. Yeah. Well, I think they just got a bunch of customers, I think. How fun. Yes. Yeah. Lucy says, your friend is so cool. I love a good letter. Unspoken Heart Stillness. Is this a donation?
Made me think it might be a donation to the group that volunteers to do it, perhaps. But my friend that did this, she's a Sagittarius rising, which I thought was interesting.
Oh, and that was your question. Yes, most definitely. Oh, totally Sagittarius. Get the horses to do the work. This is from Penny from Denmark. She wants to know what project she should focus on.
Okay.
Can you give us, Penny, just a little more detail? But maybe you can get an initial card.
Well, I'm going to say it's something that it's new, and it could be with a partner. It's something you do with someone else, potentially. But it's something that brings you immense amounts of joy. It could have to do with things that you would describe as filling your cup, things that make you party ready, excited, and fill your cup. But it's an investment of some kind. So investing in something that grows ultimately financially for you. So if there's a distinguishing thing in projects, whatever would grow financially into truly a dream, but with someone else with this Lover's card. And it could be two endeavors that maybe need to be merged together with that Lover's card. You might have to merge two projects together to one.
Interesting. And it looks like she's moving, so that makes sense. She's selling and then buying, but you can't get any better. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. 9 of Cups. That is the solid
I love that 9 of Cups.
That's great.
Yes.
And Penny wants to know one more thing. Is it with dogs? I love that question.
As she says that, I see this on the bottom of the deck with the two dogs, the moon. The moon represents dogs.
That's right. That's right.
I would take that as a yes.
And I got time for one more Unspoken Heart Stillness. Can Unspoken Heart Stillness get a small business loan?
Business loan. Okay. So interesting. This combination is really interesting. I'd say it's likely yes, but maybe from an unexpected source. With the moon, you probably can't see where the money may come from. It may be something you wouldn't expect with Judgment card, but it's a good turning point in Judgment card. It's just something that you can't see yet. It hasn't presented itself. So if you have an opportunity now, maybe just hedge your bets a little bit for maybe something better that's yet to be revealed in the moon. Maybe on the next full moon.
Okay. UK this week. I pulled it for Sunday, as I always do. We're going to look and see what's ahead. Of course, this can show the whole world. We've got Taurus rising. So we're going to look at Venus. And Venus is here in Virgo. This is something good, it looks like, it's a 6th house. Might be some news coming in either from a female worker, for female workers, because Virgo is workers, has to do maybe with the clothing industry. What do you think this good news could be this week?
This could be good in terms of export, import with the 3 of Wands, things that come to the shore, right? This is ships that come in And with this being chariot travel, I wonder if there's something good around import export, maybe tariffs.
Yeah.
Something good.
Guys, apologies for some of the video. This happens when we're in retrograde. It's not always like this. I love Virgo from the standpoint of clothing. There's really nice aspects to the clothing industry. Could be some good news, but there's a little surprise coming. And this is for a female. It could either come in on Sunday, which is when Taurus is the sign for that period, or it could be coming in on Friday as Venus activates. But there's a little square here with Uranus and Gemini, and we have got a lot of drama over here with Donald Trump being very upset that 2 news organizations did not air his speech last night and wants to pull their licenses. So there is a real shock here. It looks like with Mars close by, it's kind of an act of war against the news people this week. And we've got a square here and we've got a square here. This could be somebody getting picked on, but definitely Gemini type. So more than one, like ABC or NBC. Of course, I'm talking about the US. Let's talk about the UK. What kind of shock here are we seeing with maybe a female journalist?
I'm going to clarify, but the cards that I had that had nothing to do with your chart or anything you've said is I see a kidnapping. I see a kidnapping. Okay. So I don't know. Is it a journalist perhaps that is, it's like a Nancy Guthrie type of thing. It's interesting similarity. Okay. What is the thing with them? Yeah, it could also just be standard protests in the streets. With looting. I know. It's definitely the looting card.
Yeah, it's not to laugh, but it's like it truly is standard these days. You know, it's like it's nothing surprising. But this truly looks like somebody's getting shocked. And this could come in as early. Now, this is at nighttime because this is around midnight. So let's say 11 o'clock on 11 p.m. on Sunday, this could start coming in. Maybe somebody walking home from work, could be 6th house, and it's kind of like, wow, where did that come from? Could be a little bit dangerous. One good thing about this chart, what do we like? We like the blue lines, and we've got one that goes up to North Node and part of Fortune. And with Pisces, this is healthcare. It's the Navy. It is some kind of good news there where there are decisions that are being made. It's not stuck. When you have nice aspects to the nodes, this is a flexibility, being able to go here or there. When you have those squares, poor aspects to the nodes, it's like you're really kind of stuck. So what do you think this is, Amber? This, I want to say the 11th house is really going to be in the social media. It could be the friends of England getting together somehow. Are we talking about boats or the Navy this week?
Love when we get that. Yes. The big yes. Maybe even 2. This is a little bit like that 2 of Pentacles is about being a little bit overwhelmed and like a lot. It's a lot of responsibility.
Definitely looks like the North Node here, Uranus is squaring. Like this is a POW. This is a POW. Ooh, Pisces could be spies. What do you think?
Well, the 4 of Swords, that definitely could be. Yes, there's that 3 of Swords again. We rarely see this card,
right?
But I did see that 3. It's like a trifecta of some kind. It could be 3 powers, 3 nations, 3 something that brings some sadness or grief.
If we were to see, kind of like armies and that kind of thing, well, they're in the 12th house. So you can't really see what's going on with the Navy, but it looks like I shouldn't say just Navy, but, with the military, it looks like there's some gains here that nobody can see. And everything is being done at night. It is being done in secret, but check out Pluto way at the top, and that's revenge. And it's also Iran. It's a big one here. We've got Jupiter This is a major event. I think that's going to happen this week when we get a planet that's opposite Pluto in Aquarius. And the last time that happened was the French Revolution, and there was at least a couple of politicians who died. And we are already seeing this with Anne Widdecombe, that whole situation. But it does look like this person, this could be a judge. Jupiter is a judge. It is a powerful person that I think we're going to see some big news this week of July 19th. Can you give us some kind of a profile of this person, possibly a powerful person that is in danger?
Let's see. Just had a little tiny earthquake blip just now as you were talking. Yes.
Whoa.
So powerful leader. It definitely could be male. They could have darker complexion. But interesting, you keep talking about being on a boat. Is it someone connected to maritime?
It's a lot of news with Iran. We're already having news with Iran, but this is trying to send a message. When I look at messages and announcements, I look at Mercury with the square to North Node. This is a fake announcement. This is an announcement that you have to take or leave, probably coming in midweek. What do we look at the moon for? Well, the moon is the public. The sun can represent somebody in power, somehow connecting. Maybe the public likes something that the leader is doing, which would be a huge shock. Some kind of good news, I think, for the public. Before we get to Prince William, I wanted to talk for a second about Anne Widdecombe, who was murdered in July. We were talking about that in June. We don't like Venus opposing Pluto. This is a murder. We might see something where the female is blonde, the female has a lot of hair. So that was back in June. That was, I guess it was less than 3 weeks later, we saw that opposition with Pluto, which means a murder. Can we get a card for Anne? Will justice be done?
Interesting. I would say King of Swords. I don't know what the method of her passing was other than murder, but it's a sword. They didn't like what she stood for. They didn't like what she had to say. I don't know anything about her or her stance on anything, but it feels like there's a connection to what she stood for was what created some motivation.
Authorities are saying that it was political. She probably was a target. Interesting, you're getting the king in there. Is this going to be a major scandal?
Wow. It could actually ultimately be revealed that there's some kind of uneven exchange of finances that might not have been on the up and up surrounding it. There could be a component of that with money here. You know, Six Pentacles is...
Not surprising, right? Now we've got week of July 19th for Prince William. And how do you pull that? You pull the Sunday of the week, which is the beginning of the week. And then you put your birth time and then whatever city you happen to be in for that week. So I did this for Prince William, and gosh, there's a lot of Aquarius here. And my, we have a T-square right through here to the second house with Leo. You know, it's bullying. I wonder what that is about. I think there's even a bigger theme here. Bullying is sort of lower on the list because Aquarius is change. You're an Aquarius. You could tell me what it is. What's your thought on this T-square, what this could be?
And this is the coming week. Did you say it could be financial?
Yeah.
I see money. I see... If I have the Empress one more time in this reading... I have the Empress and the Knight of Pentacles. This is about slow movement of money. Feels like maybe there's going to be some kind of slowness around finances. I don't know if that's stock market or some kind of drop. It could even be jobs information, people's jobs and their ability to earn, or reduced earnings, or jobs are higher, something around jobs.
I wonder if it might have something to do with a cyber issue. It's all data, it's cyber. It looks like there's somebody coming in who just wants to hit maybe the wealthy.
The reporting of the stock market, or, you know, outages on the New York Exchange or something.
Definitely. The stock market is ruled this
Or
week
the app.
The app.
The apps that people use to manage it.
So this would be at 9:03. So really, this is going to be coming in more early Monday morning. And we're going to look at where Pluto is. So right there in front of him, it's almost like there could be just an announcement of him making a big change, talking about something, addressing something, or being really shocked. Pluto is inheritances. Yeah, it could be the stock. Taxes. That's right. It could be taxes. Something about it. It could be a protest about his taxes. Is there somebody spearheading something this week that they're like, this isn't right. We're gonna protest the royals and the taxes that they pay.
Ooh, Queen of Cups. Yes. This is organized communication, and it could surround a lot of women. A lot of women might be the people who are doing that kind of protest or communicating out. This came up sort of together before. Yeah. This is sometimes that pitchfork, right? Protesters lighting a fire.
Don't mess with the Queen of Cups. She will get you. And there's could be something about farms too, because this is not just money. Taurus is farms, it's gardens and that kind of thing. But it's kind of like a jolt. Sometimes it's wind. Are we looking at a windy week this week in in and around London?
Let's see. Oh gosh, the devil on the bottom. So certainly things are people might feel a little bit powerless, but if there's wind, it actually could be warm wind. If it's really windy, it could just feel very warm or hot and not very refreshing wind.
Okay. Neptune and Pluto together is the ocean. It's in a really nice aspect. We've got Uranus in Gemini. Could be more reporters reporting from the USS Abraham Lincoln like we saw last week. This is something about technology. It's about data centers and water. There's something that is being changed for sure. And the fourth house represents the House of Commons. I'm getting deja vu because I remember we were seeing something like this a little while back, wondering what was up with one of the MPs. And so I'm thinking about Ann Widdecombe, but we have Gemini here. Another fourth house issue. Could another MP be in danger this week or in the coming weeks?
Another one. Let's see.
A Gemini.
So yes.
Okay.
And is it another woman?
Yeah, exactly.
I hope there are no MPs that are currently with child specifically. This could even actually be a health situation for an MP rather than something described as nefarious, a severe health crisis. Bless you.
I sneezed right as you said health. That's so funny. Yeah, that's true. It could be maybe the healthcare or the change of healthcare, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
It might just be highlighted.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. It's like we don't have healthcare, and excuse me, what are you paying taxes on? So it's really starting to come together, I think, as far as organized and what people are protesting about. Okay, so here is the solar return chart for Prince William. And so you're going to go to AstroSeek to pull your own solar return chart. And make sure to click the solar only for the year of your last birthday. And make sure you put the city where you were on your birthday. Okay, so this is Prince William's solar return chart. So I just thought we'd look at it again so we can get maybe some more detail. We're just starting his new solar return. You're going to put assign the ascendant as your birthday for that prediction year or for your predictive solar return. And we are now in the July timeframe. We also have to talk about World Cup because he's going to be interested in that, even though England had a big disappointment. Let's talk first, though. We're in this Venus time frame. Venus is Megan, and you can see, wow, she is very successful. You could see, you know, she got nominated for an Emmy. She was able to get in, get out. Can we talk about that meeting first, as far as the cloak and dagger of it all? Here's my quick thought.
Yeah.
I think that Harry wanted to prove that Prince William has spies, and they let things out and make Harry look bad. So they did the whole cloak and dagger thing so Prince Harry could prove that it is not on their side. And when Prince William was not told about it, allegedly, I'm sure that probably upset him. What can you tell us about that meeting that King Charles had with Prince Harry and Meghan and their kids?
Yes, let's see. Well, oh, King on the bottom, and this is about a discussion. This is a communication. This is them talking. And I have to say, it's a little tough. I have 2 cards in reverse. I switched decks. I have the 10 of Cups in reverse. This is tense. This is an uncomfortable dysfunction in a family dynamic. And there's money or instability around money, or a spending discussion. They might have talked a lot about the spend, the cost.
Just judging from some of the charts, it really looked like Meghan was very upset. There were a lot of things that were unnecessary, that were obstacles that were put in their way, which would make anyone upset. Can you give us a card on what Camilla's up to in all of this?
Where is she? She wants to make the peace. She's over it. This is the, I'm so tired of all the shenanigans, roll of the eyes, everybody sort it. And she wants to actually get things back in balance. But this is being bored of it.
Can you tell me, Amber, will Spain win the World Cup?
Okay, I'll do something different. And I'm going to split this deck in 2. And I'm going to say Spain is on my left hand and Argentina will be my right hand. So I'm going to get a card for each team. Let's see. Spain.
Really?
Death card. Ooh, Argentina is going to fight. Let's see the energy underneath of that. Okay, Argentina is probably going to have a comeback. With this 5 of Pentacles in reverse, this is a little bit of a comeback. Not that they're not brilliant, but they might have to have a comeback after fighting for it. The Death card with Temperance in reverse, that's tough for Spain. That's like they can't get themselves in alignment. They might struggle with that. But the Ultimate Outcome card, 3rd card, it is definitely could be Spain. They could upset and take a win ultimately. You know, with this in the reverse, that 7 of Cups.
Yeah, the Pony Express made your day. Thanks, Equus. Yeah, and if you're interested in joining the channel, it helps us out so much. So just click join. Oh, could you pull the card for the apartment I'm viewing tomorrow to move? Okay, sure. How's the apartment look?
Let's see.
During Mercury retrograde.
Ooh, this is excellent. I think you're going to love it. You might be down to 2 choices. 2 choices. You may have equal opportunity, but it also could encourage you to be very, Queen of Cups is all about home and love and nurturing, and might feel very warm and inviting. You might just fall in love with it.
That's great.
Good cards.
Gibson, you're going to love that. Okay, good. And now I'm going to get to, we've got Prince Harry's weekly chart. This is the last one. Thanks for clicking the like button for us. All right, I got to get out of the banner section here. Oops. Hang on one sec. Okay, what am I doing? Okay. Prince Harry's weekly chart. All right. So he is a Sagittarius this year, maybe, or this week. Maybe he will be writing and sending letters on the Pony Express. And so we're going to look and see where Jupiter is. Everybody sees him as, wow, this is the 8th house. This is really interesting. Up there in that grand shrine. He's got some nice photographs coming out. And maybe something that has to do with Aries. That could be a car, a business, police, military. And for the 9th house, this is what we want to look at when we want to see what the reporters are saying. And so the sun is up here in Cancer and not being very nice at all. You can see that T-square. There's actually a petition being filed so that his own foundation, so that he steps down. So we're talking about still some serious bullying, and there could be also some financial issues that pop up too whenever you see that with the 2nd and the 8th. But we don't like the Capricorn there in the 2nd house. When Capricorn is poorly aspected, and it is, it can just show expenses and, how am I going to pay this bill? It's fear. It's fear. They're not going to be able to, come up with the money. What's going to happen, do you think, Amber, as far as paying the bill for his legal defense with the lawsuit that he just lost?
Yeah, I think in the cards that I did get about his medium with the king, it did make me think of that the overspend. And someone mentioned maybe he asked the king for money to help. That's possible, right?
Yeah.
What's he gonna do? Oh, the 5 of Wands. It's not gonna be easy. Not gonna be easy. He's gonna fight for it. He might have to pick up extra work. This is the work card. He's got to get down and get busy and do some hard work.
Yeah.
It could come through from his family. He could actually get some assistance.
And which card is that?
The 10 of Pentacles. That's that legacy wealth.
Okay. He'll be fine.
Inheritance. Yeah.
Obviously, we don't want to spend the inheritance on fights with corrupt media organizations, allegedly. But, I think things are going to turn a little bit. I really do. And now, where is Megan? She's way up here in the 9th house. Venus in a man's chart is a wife. There is, you can see the square to Mars. So she's not very happy with the television, things that are being reported. Very critical Virgo, maybe something that has to do with her clothing. And it's just tiresome. It's very tiresome. But she's got such great fame because of the Emmy nomination, Australia, the chefs. So she's on the chef program. So that can be Cancer too. Cancers are great chefs, talking about, making a home and all of that. Let's see here. His brother, Prince Harry, is the 11th house. And so he is also Venus. So it's interesting how he's seeing his wife and his older brother both getting this Mars type of energy. And that comes in, this is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's Thursday night. So it's around Thursday that some news comes in that maybe is a little bit tense. What do you think this news is on Thursday for Prince Harry?
Oh, let's see. King of Pentacles in reverse and the Death card. If someone was to help him financially, King of Pentacles, they may change their mind.
Okay.
The resources you thought would be there may not be. And maybe that's going to be, talked about. Or it could even be a lawyer he has that resigns or quits.
Yeah.
In that place. He could have somebody on his team that quits.
It's a real complicated energy right now where things just seem so unsurmountable. But then on the other hand, he's got such good news coming in for Megan. And, maybe the kids have something that they're talking about that's very positive. So it's sort of like, if Harry were to talk, in a reading, I would say something like, look, it's Mercury retrograde. Saturn's going retrograde. Everything is just off right now. Just chill. It's going to be okay. So, well, I think that's all we have today. Thank you so much, Amber, for helping us out. And we will see you next Friday.
See you next week. Thanks, guys.
Right.